The image collates key terms central to business operations and project management, highlighting strategic pillars like strategy, financial planning, risk management, and consulting. These elements drive organizational decision-making, aligning projects with business goals through structured processes such as scope definition, planning, and service delivery. Terms like analysis and audit underscore data-driven governance, ensuring compliance and efficiency across initiatives. The second cluster focuses on oversight and execution, control, inspection, validation, and review mechanisms safeguard quality, while reports and results measure outcomes. Project management integrates these components, balancing process optimization with risk mitigation to achieve objectives. Together, these concepts form a framework for sustainable growth, emphasizing accountability, adaptability, and alignment with organizational vision. The project scope management processes, the second knowledge area in PMI's PMBOK, ensuring all required work, and only that work, is included. Key steps include plan scope management, defining scope governance, collect requirements which reflects on capturing stakeholder needs, and define scope that details deliverables via the scope statement. Creating WBS breaks work into manageable units, aligning tasks with deliverables, while validate scope formalizes acceptance criteria and manages changes to prevent scope creep. These processes systematically translate stakeholder expectations into actionable boundaries. By structuring work via the work breakdown structure, WBS, and enforcing rigorous validation, the framework ensures clarity, minimizes deviations, and guarantees deliverables meet agreed objectives. This approach balances flexibility with control, maintaining focus on essential outcomes throughout the project lifecycle. The first image outlines the project scope management framework aligned with PMBOK guidelines, structured into processes like plan scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create WBS, validate scope, and control scope. Each process lists standardized inputs, such as project charter, management plan, organizational assets, and tools techniques such as data analysis and decision-making. Scope management ensures only the defined work is completed, preventing scope creep to preserve project integrity. By rigorously adhering to processes like WBS creation, requirement validation, and change control, teams align outcomes with stakeholder expectations while safeguarding project boundaries and deliverables. Product scope like features, functions, and characteristics of the deliverable, from project scope, which is the work required to deliver the product. Product scope defines what the result must achieve, while project scope outlines how it will be delivered. Managing both ensures alignment with stakeholder expectations and prevents deviations like gold plating, which inflates costs and risks without adding value. To avoid scope creep, all customer requests, even those claimed as minor, must undergo formal change control. This process evaluates impacts on timelines, resources, and quality before approval. By enforcing strict scope boundaries and transparent change protocols, project managers safeguard project integrity, ensuring deliverables meet agreed criteria without unauthorized expansions. The image outlines key processes within project scope management, focusing on defining and controlling project boundaries. Plan scope management establishes guidelines for scope definition, validation, and control, ensuring alignment with stakeholder expectations. Collect requirements gathers stakeholder needs, forming the foundation for defined scope, which details deliverables and exclusions in a scope statement. Create WBS breaks work into manageable units via a hierarchical work breakdown structure, clarifying tasks and deliverables. Validate scope ensures deliverables meet acceptance criteria through stakeholder reviews, while control scope monitors changes to prevent unauthorized expansions. Together, these processes ensure only necessary work is executed, maintaining project focus, accountability, and alignment with objectives. The project scope statement template for a residential construction project titled 122 East Main Street. The plan defines processes to ensure clarity and control over project deliverables. Key components include scope statement development, a 4-level work breakdown structure detailing tasks like plumbing and electrical work, and a WBS dictionary with resource allocations, durations, and contracts. Scope baseline maintenance enforces change control to prevent scope creep, while deliverable acceptance mandates inspections by city authorities for compliance. The project scope statement outlines objectives: constructing a single-family home at 234 West Adams Street with regular stakeholder updates. It includes sections for version control, roles, and acceptance criteria. Emphasis is placed on pre-work requirements documentation and alignment with building codes. This structured framework ensures accountability, traceability, and adherence to scope boundaries, minimizing risks of unauthorized changes or miscommunication. The Scope Management Plan Framework, detailing inputs, tools, and outputs. Inputs include the project charter, project management plan components, e.g., quality management plan, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Tools and techniques like expert judgment, alternatives analysis, and meetings drive the development of key outputs, the Scope Management Plan and Requirements Management Plan. Per PMBOK, the Scope Management Plan defines processes for creating the project scope statement, building the work breakdown structure, and establishing a scope baseline. It formalizes deliverables acceptance criteria, change control procedures, and methods to resolve conflicting stakeholder requirements. Integrated into the project management plan, it ensures alignment with objectives, prevents scope creep, and maintains focus on authorized work through structured governance. The scope baseline, a foundational reference comprising the project scope statement. Defining deliverables, exclusions, and boundaries, the work breakdown structure hierarchical task decomposition, and the WBS dictionary detailed descriptions of work packages, resources, and milestones. Together, these components establish the approved scope against which project performance is measured. Formal change control processes govern updates to the baseline, ensuring deviations like scope creep are evaluated and authorized. The baseline also includes work packages and planning packages for granular tracking. By anchoring scope management to this structured framework, teams maintain alignment with stakeholder expectations and ensure deliverables meet defined objectives without unauthorized expansions. The requirements gathering techniques essential for capturing stakeholder needs. Methods include focus groups, collaborative discussions, interviews to obtain direct stakeholder inputs, and structured feedback through surveys and questionnaires, idea generation through brainstorming and benchmarking. These approaches ensure diverse perspectives are integrated, aligning deliverables with business goals and user expectations. The process extends to structured activities like facilitated workshops, document analysis, and observation. Outputs such as the work breakdown structure or product backlog organize requirements into actionable tasks or features. By systematically translating stakeholder input into traceable deliverables, these tools bridge gaps between vision and execution, ensuring clarity and feasibility in project planning. The Requirements Management Plan is a critical component of the Project Management Plan, outlining how project requirements will be analyzed, documented, and managed throughout the lifecycle. It defines the agreed-upon conditions, capabilities, and outcomes that the product or service must meet, ensuring that all stakeholders have a clear understanding of what the project aims to deliver. By establishing a structured approach, the plan ensures that requirements are consistently tracked and updated as the project progresses, preventing scope creep and ensuring alignment with project goals. The plan also details how requirements will be prioritized, analyzed, and reported, and specifies the product metrics that will be used to evaluate progress and quality. It serves as the basis for developing the work breakdown structure, with the project manager providing the foundation to ensure that all deliverables are aligned with the documented requirements. By defining how requirements will be managed, the plan plays a key role in ensuring project success and meeting stakeholder expectations effectively. Configuration management activities such as how version control of project documents and changes to the product will be initiated, how impacts will be analyzed, how they will be traced, tracked, and reported, and what authorization level is required to approve these changes. Traceability structure stating which requirement attributes will be captured on the traceability matrix. The Requirements Traceability Matrix is a tool that maps project requirements to their implementation stages like design, development, testing, and deployment for end-to-end tracking. Each row corresponds to a requirement, for example RQ3, add to cart functionality, with status updates like completed in development testing, in progress in deployment, and linked test IDs T001, T005 to validate fulfillment. This ensures alignment between stakeholder needs and deliverables while identifying gaps, such as RQ4, payment integration still in design. The RTM provides visibility into progress and accountability. For instance, RQ5, email notifications, shows concurrent development and testing, while RQ2, product search, awaits deployment after testing. By linking requirements to tests and phases, the matrix mitigates risks of missed deliverables, supports auditability, and streamlines communication across teams, ensuring transparency and adherence to project scope. The structured processes for managing project requirements, emphasizing inputs like the project charter, scope requirements management plans, and stakeholder register. Tools such as data gathering, decision-making voting, and multi-criteria analysis, and data representation ensure comprehensive requirement capture and prioritization. Prototyping and context diagrams translate abstract needs into tangible models, bridging stakeholder expectations with technical execution. Outputs like requirements documentation and the requirements traceability matrix formalize and track needs across the project lifecycle. However, initial ambiguity in requirements often necessitates iterative methods to adapt to evolving stakeholder feedback. These frameworks thrive on incremental refinement, aligning with tools like prototypes and RTMs to manage fluid priorities while maintaining accountability, ensuring clarity emerges progressively without sacrificing scope control. The requirement elicitation techniques used to systematically gather and refine stakeholder needs. Interactive methods like workshops, interviews, brainstorming, and focus groups foster engagement, while surveys and Delphi method capture broad input. Visual tools such as affinity diagrams and mind mapping organize abstract needs into actionable requirements, complemented by hands-on approaches like observation and prototypes. Consensus building techniques like nominal group and group decision-making ensure alignment on critical requirements. These methods balance creativity with structure, mitigating ambiguity by translating diverse perspectives into clear, prioritized criteria. Collectively, they enable teams to uncover hidden needs, validate assumptions, and align deliverables with stakeholder expectations efficiently. The three key techniques for refining project requirements and processes. Benchmarking compares planned practices against industry standards or past projects to identify best practices and performance gaps, ensuring efficiency and competitiveness. Context diagrams visually map user interactions with a product system, clarifying interfaces and dependencies to align technical execution with user needs. Document analysis reviews historical records to extract insights, avoid past pitfalls, and streamline requirement creation for new initiatives. Together, these methods reduce ambiguity by grounding decisions in data and user-centric visuals. Benchmarking fosters continuous improvement, context diagrams bridge stakeholder communication gaps, and document analysis leverages institutional knowledge. By integrating these tools, teams ensure requirements are realistic, aligned with strategic goals, and resilient to scope creep, enhancing both planning accuracy and deliverable quality. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to excellence and your dedication to mastering the profession. We wish you resounding success on your path to certification.